Rem's probably minus 2.2 as well, but probably the minus sign is not showing. That would be my guess there. Okay, and we're off, and we can see all of our players are playing the Japanese card, so you can see the text in Japanese. So there will be no capes in Vanilla Dome 1 for anyone who loses their cape on the way. So I hope they all have the very best of luck through World 2. So there's not a whole lot going on in Yoshi's Island 2, the first level of the run. Basically, hold right and run and jump over things that get in your way. The one thing you might see at the end is the players might try to do a jump off the top yellow bricks here and let go of the right button, and if any of them do it correctly and also get lucky, they can get a 361 on their timer. Barely saves any time, it's just for swag, but none of our players got it, so no swag points to anyone right now. Yoshi's Island 3, however, is a different story. This box jump at the start, everyone is very good at it. Everyone has a lot of practice, but it can catch people out if you're rusty, if you're nervous. So we're delighted to see everyone has made it no problem. Unfortunately, Ren somehow lost his P-speed at the start. He hasn't fallen, he hasn't taken a death, it's only going to cost him a second or two. We can see 3 of our runners getting a 259, and Rem's just getting a 256, but that's okay, it's not a big deal, it's just 2 seconds. So we saw a nice shell jump attempt from Waldo. I didn't see if any of the other runners attempted it. I don't think anyone got it. It's a very difficult trick, and it only saves about 1/3 of a second. If you get the shell jump, you can finish the level with 275 on the timer. 276, sorry. But the 275 shows that they all didn't get shell jump. I think Rems must have had an extra long dip in the water. He only finished with a 272. The castle's probably arguably the first difficult level, especially room 1. It kind of shows how effective your strategies are, because you can be faster or slower through this level. The technique on catching the nets and jumping off them effectively is not that easy, and it takes quite a bit of practice. It doesn't matter so much in a no Star World run, but in an 11 exit run, especially at the top times, this is one of the biggest rooms that can cause people to lose some time. Okay, everyone finished with a 240 or a 241, so everyone had a very good Iggy's Castle. Yeah, we have great sync there among most of our runners on stream. But World 2 is where it starts to get interesting. We're going to see some flyovers where flight speed's a factor. We're going to see water level for swim-throughs. And we're going to see a tricky castle. World 2 castle can cost you a lot of time if you don't do it correctly. Oh no, Waldo unfortunately takes a hit and loses his cape. It looks like he's going to try and respawn the Koopa to get his cape back. Okay, so he's lost a little bit of time, but he's got his cape and still got his flower. So he's back in it. In this level, the runners will be looking to get the good flight speed and to get a good key grab. And we see Dr. Cool getting a 362, which is fantastic. Dab's getting a 361, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, Waldo losing a bit of time, but he can make this up. The run goes on. Donut Secret 1, we're going to see the runners go into this pipe, we call it the dry room, and they're going to pick up the red shell, because you swim faster when you're carrying an object like a red swell or a P-switch. very good shell grabs for both Dabs and Dots. Rems as well. Waldo had a little bit of trouble grabbing the shell, but he's got it now. Oh no, Dabs manages to get the 251, but Dots took a hit on the last fish. If you're a little bit aggressive trying to get the 352 in this level, you can sometimes hit the fish, and it looks like that's what's happened. So he's probably gonna... I'm expecting he's gonna go back to Donut Plains 1 and grab his cape. So that puts Dabs now in a fairly clear lead. All of a sudden, Waldo and Rems, who had shaky World 1s, are now up into 2nd and 3rd place respectively. It looks like Waldo didn't get the flight at the start of Donut Plains 3, but he does know a fairly effective backup, so he'll have lost minimal time there, which is good. It's always useful to know and practice what you're going to do if you don't get the P-speed off those brown platforms at the start. Because what Waldo did is basically what you want to do. You'll lose minimal time that way. And Waldo gets awarded with 14 lag points. It's actually still very close between Waldo, Dots and Rems. And Dabs has a little bit of a lead. He's halfway through the next level. This level, if you're used to running all castles, you'd be grabbing a Yoshi in this level, but we don't want to grab a Yoshi this time, because we don't need to do any wings in Vanilla Dome 1. You could still grab a Yoshi for a safety strategy, but I don't think any of our runners will be doing that. Rem's getting caught up on the clouds there, lost a little bit of time. But as long as you don't fly into any Goombas and land on the ground, then you're in serious trouble if that happens. But he's okay, he avoided all that. Now we're going into Castle 2, I think this is the first really tricky level in the game. I expect our runners will make it look easy, but it can be very easy to lose a cycle or to miss the spring. Dabs missing the spring throw at the top. Waldo with a nice spring throw at the top would have made up a little bit of time. Dots choosing to switch to the fire floor at the very top of the room. Well, a lot of people switch it on the way up. Rems is going into Morton with his cape. So he's actually going to lose a little bit of time here, because now he still has to do 2 fireballs and jump on Morton again. I think he might have got spooked at the top of the castle, and he prioritized avoiding the skeleton. But all 4 of our runners made it safely out of World 2. We're going to go into the Vanilla Dome segment. Dab's having a little trouble at the start. He needs to be careful, you can get frame ruled by these beetles. Waldo having a much better room. Oh, actually he didn't make it up, but luckily he had the beanstalk on the way up. Dots didn't have the cleanest room either, actually. I don't think any of our runners had a super smooth Vanilla Dome 1, but they have all made it up safely. Oh, I say safely. Oh my god, Rems. What are you doing, mate? You'll give us a heart attack. That beetle, I've done that myself. If you accidentally throw the shell sideways instead of up, it can hit you and you can lose your cape, and it's very sad. Thankfully, he just avoided it. Unfortunately, Rems has lost his P speed on the way up. He's trying to get his fly up, but I think it might be more prudent just to take the beanstalk up. Our other three runners are going into a couple of levels, which basically are just kind of flyovers, so there's not going to be too much happening. Hopefully, if they do it right, there's not too much happening. We did see the ground level of this level in the previous race, but that's not what anyone wants to do. We want to just fly over this and get on with the run. Waldo picking up another 14 lag points. Waldo is now... Weird Waldo, 42, is now 2/3 of the way to his goal. Don't think we don't notice what you're up to, Waldo. Okay, all of the runners now are... Well, the three of the runners, Rems will be there soon enough as well. They're going into Vanilla Fort. One of my least favourite levels in the game, honestly. It's one of the water levels where you do not get a shell or a P-switch to pick up and swim fast. So it's basically a boring swim through, except there's a couple of sections where you can easily just take damage if you're a little bit careless. So I don't find this a fun level at all. Hopefully none of our runners will drop their cape. Although losing cape here is not really the worst thing either, because you can get it for free in the next level. It just loses the second or two it costs you to pick up your flower. Oh! No, okay. I didn't see any of our runners get the thwomp. Oh! Shoutouts to Dots Are Cool. Everyone look at the bottom left screen. And notice the lack of a thwomp there. If you spin your cape at the right time coming out of that pipe, you can cause, somehow, for some reason, you can cause the thwomp to despawn. And Dots did exactly that. So that's fantastic. Now, I've noticed that both Dabs and Waldo have lost their cape in the Reznor fight, but luckily for them, they can pick it up for free in the next level. So losing cape in that fight costs minimal time. It's actually much worse if you were to lose your flower somehow in this section, because you need the flower to save you considerable bit of time on the Ludwig, on the boss of Castle 4. Rem's having a very solid Reznor fight as well, so he'll be onto Butterbridge immediately after the other three. So far, this is a really good race, and it's really close between three of the runners, and Rems is only a tiny little bit behind. So this is Butterbridge 1. If you've got your resident sleepers, you might want to post them in chat. The most important thing about Butterbridge 1 is to not fall asleep and die somehow. We've seen it happen to several runners in this tournament, including myself. I will put my hand up and say I've done it too. None of the runners picking up the shell, so we're not going to go for any vine swag. Please do not spin jump on the top of those blocks, Waldo. That is really risky. We have seen a runner spin jump on top of those blocks and then being unable to ground themselves and then die. So please don't do that. You'll give us a heart attack. So at the moment, Dab's winning the race, and Waldo and Dots Are Cool immediately behind him. Very close going into Butterbridge 2. Rems is getting very close to those Koopas. That's another way you can lose some time, is to lose your cape to those Koopas. That seemed a little bit scary. None of our other three having any problems with Butterbridge 2. And now we enter Ludwig. Ludwig's castle, that is. We're entering Ludwig's castle. Dab's using his patented scroll strategy, which I obviously stole immediately. Meanwhile, Waldo is doing the normal non-scroll cape strategy, and Dots Are Cool is doing the fire flower strategy. All three of them are pretty equivalent. Arguably, Waldo's is the fastest, but maybe the riskiest. And between the other two, it's just a matter of... for any of these strategies, you do what's comfortable to you. You do what is safest for you. Ben, it looks like you're 2 seconds behind Dabs, tied with Dots Are Cool, 1 second ahead of Waldo on the restream. Something approximately that. It's very close. I was talking and I didn't even have my push to talk pressed. It looks like Rem's lost his cape somewhere, and I actually missed where. It looks like he's picking up a cape and a backup cape in Butterbridge 2 before proceeding. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. He must have lost it in the castle. Well, this is what happens when there's just me and 4 restreams. I miss some things, so apologies for that. Waldo, no spoilers, please. The restream hasn't caught up yet. Oh, fantastic wings from Dabs. That was excellent. And as we've just been spoiled, Waldo has now got his 42 lag points. Maybe they turn into swag points when it's 42. I'll have to give him some credit. So Dabs actually extends his lead because he got forest wings. Now we're going to go for the luck-based Yoshi clip. Dabs gets it first try. That's excellent. Let's hope all our runners get it first try. Dots is in there. Come on, Waldo. How did he not hit that urchin? I have no idea, but Waldo gets in there first try as well. That's fantastic. Dabs picks up his own 22 lag points. Yeah, Yoshi clips, if you're not aware, even if you execute it correctly, you still have a 25% chance that Yoshi will kick you out anyway. And there's nothing much you can do except just to make sure that you have the correct subpixel to get your 75% chance. All 3 of our luckers executed perfectly and also got lucky. So that's good going. Meanwhile, Rems is entering Forest 1. He's not too far behind. About a level and a half, maybe 2 levels behind. Unfortunately, that Ludwig death seems to have cost him, but I think he can make this up. He can keep going. The run's not dead yet. Not much happening in Forest 3, but our runners are entering Roy's Castle now. We've seen that ruin a lot of people's runs. It happens all the time. Dabs has a very nice first section, and so does Dots. Waldo got very close to that fireball. I thought he was going to hit. That was scary. Yeah, he said it. He said it himself. That was really scary, but he made it. No harm, no foul. Yeah, the first 3 of our runners safely through Roy's Castle now, despite the massive scare on Waldo's screen. Rems is going for his Yoshi clip now, so we wish him the best of luck. Come on, we want 4 out of 4, please. Interesting. Okay, he's negating, he's reneging on his Yoshi clip. He might be going for easy clip, and if so, we'll get to see that strategy. So I don't know what kind of pace these guys are on, but it must be pretty solid pace. There hasn't been many mistakes between our top 3 runners. Minimal time loss so far. It's been very impressive. The quality's been very good. And it's still a really close race between the 3 of them. So Rem is showing us easy clip there. That's basically free. You stand in that little slot, you hold down left, you tap A and you get in. It doesn't save as much time as the normal strategy, but it's easier, and if you're not comfortable with your Yoshi clip, it's a good thing to go for. I missed it. I think Waldo went for pipe fly and didn't get it, so he's doing backup fly now. I think Dots did get pipe fly, and I'm guessing Dabs did based on his finishing time. So now we're into Choco Ghost House, one of the spookiest levels in the game. And it is because of this fishing boo. He can easily just wreck your life. Dabs is doing the spin fly strategy, whereas Dots is doing the normal flight strategy. And they both have their risks. The normal flight strategy, it seems like it's an easy flyover, but it's not, because there's a pipe above the screen if you go too high, and it stops you in your tracks. So you actually have to manage your height just above the fishing boo. Dabs' strategy is a little bit slower. It appears safer, except you still have to get down at the very end to get to the door, which can be a bit risky. Waldo having a little bit of trouble with the flight in the first room, and unfortunately that ghost chain. Oh, he managed to despawn it. That was well done. Okay, so all 3 of our runners getting through the ghost house, no problem. Okay, we just saw Rems having a good Roy fly. He needs to be a little careful. He didn't get his flight for the second half of the level. Just needs to make sure he doesn't fall in the pit. Those platforms can despawn, but we all know about it, and we know to be careful, basically. Rems doesn't have the flower, so he's going to have to do a slower Roy kill. You have to jump on him 3 times. But it only costs a few seconds, and he's got his 2 capes, and he's ready to go onto Chocolate Island now. So now we're in Choco Secret, also known in some circles as Chocolate Secret, because this level, some of these rooms can also end your run. These chucks that kick the footballs out in room 1, you can get wrecked very easily. Waldo had a little bit of a scare there, but I think he's going to make it through fine. Dabs and Dots are having a successful flyover of room 3. You can't find the Yoshi coins in Choco Secret. I don't know where they are either, to be honest. Is it possible that there are no... No, there's one. There's a Yoshi coin. So there must be some Yoshi coins. Maybe one of the runners of Lunar Dragon can help you there. Oh, is this the level there's only 1 Yoshi coin? Interesting. Oh no! Dabs lost his escape to the first the first what do you call it? Spiny thing? What's the name of those things? Yeah, unfortunately, what happens at the start of that level is if you hit the spiny wheel thing. Why can I not think of its name? Somebody tell me its name. If you hit that thing before you hit the ceiling, you don't get your cape invincibility, and that's exactly what happened to Dabs. Dot's having a very solid level, gets 250 door. Waldo's having a good first room. It looks like Rems is having a little bit of trouble in the ghost house, but I think he's up safely now. Okay, Dots loses his cape to Wendy, but he's got his flower, so he's mostly okay. He'll be able to pick up his cape for minimal time loss in the ghost house. Sorry, in the sunken ghost ship. Dabs needs to be careful. Do not take a hit, Dabs. Just get the kill and keep your flower. Okay, safely gets the kill, and so does Waldo. Waldo has caught right up now. But Waldo has 2 capes and Dabs has 0. So Waldo might have a little bit of an advantage in the ghost ship as well. The saw or the buzz saw. Thanks, guys. Grinder? Is it the grinder as well? I don't know. Buzz saw sounds right to me. The spiny wheel thing. I'm just gonna call it that. I like that name. Rems is having a bit of an adventure in this room. Oh, and Chuck turns around and hits him with the football. Unfortunately, Dot switched to his flower, but he lost it, and now he doesn't have an item to deboost through. And I think it's going to mess up his despawning as well. I don't think he can get the despawn from that position. I mean, he might prove me wrong, but I don't think he can get it from there. So he's going to lose a bit of an advantage. Dabs and Waldo have a chance to catch up if they have a successful room. The idea is you want to get to the horizontal position in the level at the exact right timing of when the ghosts spawn and despawn so that you can despawn the first boo ring. Dabs gets it and Waldo does not, unfortunately. Now Dabs hasn't switched to his flower, so he can't deboost through. He needs to keep his cape. Waldo's waiting patiently for the burst boo ring, and he'll have to wait for the second boo ring as well. And it's that time again. Get your orbs in chat, because Dots Are Cool gets the orb. And that's an orb for Dabs, and Weird Waldo is right behind him with his own orb. So that's 3 orbs in quick succession. Oh no, I was about to say Dots Are Cool is entering a level that is much spookier in No Star World than it is in All Castles, because in All Castles you have a Yoshi here. And that's exactly why, because you can very easily get frame ruled by the moles. They have a weird janky hitbox, and the frame rules can just wreck you. Luckily, Dots is very familiar with the no cape strategy, so he knows the route to take. Dab's losing his cape as well. He should run through that mole. He should run straight through them and damage boost through him. Okay, he's waiting and jumping. Okay, because you can pick up a block to get your mushroom and then get your cape at the start of the next level. Dots is going to do the next level as Small Mario, so we're going to see some more no cape, no Star World strategies. This is giving Dots and Waldo a chance to further catch up. Oh, unfortunately, Rems was aggressively going for that cycle skip. And I'm a big advocate of going for the cycle skip, but the timing was really tight there. It depends on when you spawn the moving platform. And unfortunately, he takes a death. Luckily, he has the halfway, so we can attempt it again. Did I just miss Dots doing sandbar? Oh no, I suppose he can't because he doesn't have a cape. He's probably doing the level the normal way. Okay, well let's look on Dabs and Waldo's screen. Both of these guys I think will go for sandbar. Oh, Dabs takes a death. And Waldo, I don't know if he attempted it, but he got the safe cycle skip. So he can carry on and he has cape. Unfortunately, Dabs didn't get it. He was brave, he went for it, where others before him didn't. And he paid the price. So Dabs is going to pick up his cape now at the start of this level, and then presumably do the level, I wouldn't say the vanilla way, but the normal non-sandbar clip method. Dabs as Big Mario was going to carry on, probably capeless for the rest of the run now. So Waldo has cape, he will have some advantage, but it's actually very close whether he can catch up or not. Especially if Dots does executes his no cape strategies effectively, which I'm sure he will. Sure he will, because he's very good at those strategies. You're seeing him here now maintain his P speed in this section without cape, getting past those fireballs, gets the cycle skip there. Waldo's entering the fort now. Yeah, Dots is in the lead at the moment, and I think he's still the favourite despite not having cape. Waldo's not far behind, but it's going to be tough to catch up. I think he needs Dots to make a mistake. Dabs is a little further behind because he has yet to enter the fort. Very nice fort from Waldo. Just needs a clean Reznor fight. Fireballs are being relatively kind to him. Dots entering the dark room. I couldn't see, he was holding something, I presume it was a mech, but it was too dark, I couldn't see anything. Dots beginning the Bowser fight now. You're going to see the no-cape Bowser kill. Waldo's now entering the castle. He's not too far behind, but I think it will take a mistake from Dots for Waldo to catch up. Dabs, that was a massive scare. I thought he was going to get crushed there. He lost his cape, but he managed to escape with his life. That was really scary. Rem seems to have all the lag in the world on that screen. I don't know what's happening. I think he needs to kill some enemies, because that was the most lag I've ever seen in the Sunken Ghost ship. But he's now collected his orb, and he's on his way to the rest of Valley. What you're going to see on Dots' screen is ball skip. Bowser's throwing the first of his blue balls now, and when he reaches the end of the screen and starts the blue ball animation, Dots is going to hit him with the Koopa. That looked way too early. There's no way that's ball skip. How did that work? Somebody explain to me how that worked. That was so early. He must have hit him on the very first frame. I guess he's got his timing down and he knows his cues. Blue balls, they're bad in Link to the Past and they're bad in Super Mario World, so you want to avoid them. But Dots is into phase 3 and Waldo is into phase 3 as well, but he still needs the fireball phase. I think Dots has this one. Just needs one more hit. Takes a hit, but he has his flower, gets a nice insta hit, and get your GGs in for Dots. Finishes up. Let me check the official SRL race time. Dots finishes with a 34:11 in the SRL room. Meanwhile, Silver Star has finished with a 34:26 to take second place in this race. That's a great run from Dots to be so close to the 34-minute mark, considering losing cape and things like that. Waldo takes third place with a 34:35 in the SRL room. GG's to him. just seeing Dabs finish up the Bowser fight now. Meanwhile, Rems is in the sandbar room, so he's not too far behind. He just has the fort and Bowser left. I don't think this one can PB for him. I think there was too many unfortunate things. But he'll hope for better in his next run. Did I miss Ben winning the race? I totally missed that. Oh my god. I massively apologize to my co-commentator from the previous round. But Ben actually won the overall race with a time of 33.59. And Dots was in second with 34.11. So we had Waldo in third, 34.35. And Dabs did... Silverstar in third, Waldo in fourth. Dabs takes fifth place with a 35.42. That's an unfortunate end to his run. He won't be happy with that. But I'm sure we can see better of him in the next run. Dots are second. Oh, man. Ben throwing the shade in chat. Like any good winner of a race should do. Just throwing the shady force, that's right. So Rem's making his way through the dark room. Still on comfortable sub 40 pace. It's not what he's looking for, but it's still a decent time considering what happened. So hopefully we see a nice cape kill now to finish off the restream. Rem's having no problems with the first two hits. Goes into the second phase. So if you're just joining us and think you've just missed a race and are kicking yourself for not being here earlier, don't you worry. Because this was only the second of 6 races. There's going to be 4 more races this evening. And we have 1 more qualifier session tomorrow, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Midnight Central European Time, and 6 more races tomorrow. That's 11 more. That's 10 more qualifier races in total. So there's plenty more time to see more of these qualifier Mario World races before the brackets begin. We're just seeing Rems finish off Bowser, and our next race I think is scheduled to start. It's scheduled in 3 minutes. It's probably going to start in about 7 or 8 minutes time. Unless I'm messing up the schedule. Have I got that right? Yeah, not long after we finish this race, we'll see the third race. And unfortunately, I'm going to be stepping out soon. We're going to have new commentators in. Rems has just 1 more hit left, I think. Oh no, he has 2 more hits left. Gets the hit in. And Rems finishes in 6th place with a time of 39 minutes and 28 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for all 4 of our runners. That was a really good run. Fantastic race. Really enjoyed that one.